Hello and welcome to the Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. It is the Valley Business Today, top of Virginia Regional Chamber's turn at the mic. We are not in person sitting at the airport, or at least I am not in person sitting at Winchester Regional Airport. But Kaylee Fincham, Director of Events for the top of Virginia Regional Chamber, is there, A, because it's her office now, and B, because she's sharing a conference room with her guest, which is Nick Sabo. Nick is the Executive Director / Airport Manager for Winchester Regional Airport. You guys have details and all of the cool, fun things that are going to happen at Wings and Wheels on October 18th. We talked about it a little bit when you were in the early planning stages, and now I see a bunch of papers in front of you. So I'm guessing you've made a lot of decisions.
Thank you for having us. We are super excited for this Wings and Wheels Winchester Regional Airport, October 18th, from 10 to 4 that day. And Nick and I have some pretty exciting news. With the help and the love and support of our sponsors, we have made this event free admission.
I think that is fantastic. I love coming to an event where I don't have to pay to get in, and instead I can pay to support local businesses and local organizations with my money that way. So kudos to you and the Chamber and Winchester Regional Airport for managing to pull that off, thanks to the sponsors.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest update since we last spoke. Was we weren't sure at the time if we were going to be able to deliver a free event to the community. That was always a top goal of ours. But as you know, these large community events can't be done without a lot of resources, a lot of contracted services, and those come with costs. And so I can't thank our sponsors enough for enabling this event to be free. We think it's going to be an amazing day, and we think that there's going to be a lot of return on that investment for those sponsors when they see thousands of people that will be able to see their logos and understand that they are good community partners that had some faith in us that we could deliver as this awesome premier event. So we couldn't be more thrilled and, again, appreciative to our sponsors for this one.
Nick, we talked about this when we did the show the last time, that while this event is new-ish, it has happened once before pre-pandemic.
It did, and I think even historically, there could have been shades of events similar to it in the airport's history, but in 2019, you're absolutely right. We were trying at the time to make this an annual event. The pandemic had other plans, but I love that we have actually paid homage to the old logo that we created in 2019 because it's so good. And I got to call out Renee Bayless from the Tourism Bureau. She had designed it. We are resurrecting it and breathing new life into it, and hopefully this time around, we can truly make it an annual event.
Kaylee, you have all kinds of stuff. People are going to be able to come that day and walk around and shop. There's going to be things for the kids to do. There's going to be airplanes on display. There's a car show. You've got a lot going on that day.
Yes, we do, Janet. Yes, we do. It's really neat to have a little smorgasbord of all kinds of things. What brings car enthusiasts out? Kids that have never probably been up close to an airplane or the ambulance, heavy equipment from touch-a-truck aspects and different things of construction-wise. So it's just really nice that you can not only see these things in person, but you also can talk to individuals representing those companies when you walk in through the gate. We have tons of airplane static displays, a car show, exhibitor booths, businesses, nonprofit, arts and crafts, kind of side hobbies of people. We have food vendors, drinks, desserts too. We have music. The Winchester Airport partners up with Hanley Library and does story time once a month. So any moms, dads, families out there, if you hear us in this show, come to story time. It's once a month. And it's, what is it, Nick?
Second Friday every month at 11 o'clock. Here in our new terminal building.
You were telling me before we started recording that you have gotten all of the vendors that you need, but you are still looking for people to bring their classic cars to the car show or their aircraft.
Kaylee's done a great job of putting together a whole package of different vendor forms and registration forms on the Chamber's website. So if you are interested in showcasing your aircraft or your vehicle, or if you are interested in being a volunteer, there's a lot of great forms that you can fill out all online, and we're organizing it that way. Let us know in advance so we can coordinate and make sure we've got space for you and all the support that you need. Things are filling out very nicely on that front, and I think the public will be impressed by the wide array of aircraft that our airport can accommodate, and it showcases a little bit about some of the capability that we provide to our community. A good example of that is the PHI air ambulance helicopter that will be with us that day for at least 2 hours. from 10 to noon. That is one thing that is time dependent. So that'll be the only chance to get to see that up close and personal. But otherwise, it's going to be a great day. And if you are interested, again, please go to the Chamber's website and find those forms and let us know that you're coming.
The car show, it's a little different than your typical car shows that you go to and stuff. So like with ours, any vehicle is welcome. We won't have specific categories this year, as the show will not include formal judging and whatnot. Instead, we're keeping things fun and relaxed with the People's Choice Award for Best in Show. So we can have custom vehicles, you can have trucks, Jeeps, import vehicles, classic cars, race cars, anything with four wheels that you want to drive here. Not trailered though, because we don't have the room. Even though we have a very large terminal, we don't have anywhere to park the trailer. We just want people to come out, enjoy themselves, show off what's in their garage or whatever they have, just to talk to people.
Most of your people that go to these car shows, the whole point, I think, is to drive them to the car show. They don't get to drive them around very often. So it is nice to be able to bring them to a venue like Winchester Regional Airport and have them parked so that tons of people can see them, as opposed to sometimes when they're in smaller parking lots, you're limited to the space that people have to walk around and look at those vehicles.
Right. What a great backdrop, too, to have the airport, have some aircraft in those pictures with those cars. A very unique opportunity for the car owners as well. And I'm glad that Kaylee touched on the touch a truck aspect, because looking around at other similar events at other airports really across the country, they usually have a playbook that they follow, a very conventional car show and static display aircraft. We thought that a touch a truck aspect was a great addition to this event because we've got the space for that large machinery, those big trucks and things. And again, we want this to be family friendly and exciting and engaging for the kids. And anything we can do to form some good, positive core memories at the airport is in our best interest. So we are so stoked to bring that part to our show as well. We think it differentiates a little bit, but adds even more to take in from a family's perspective.
It's a really good way, too, for some of these younger kids, middle school, even high school kids that are coming with their families to see what some of these pieces of equipment look like, because maybe they've never considered a career in that particular field because they thought it was one thing. And now they're going to get to see how nice some of this equipment is and realize, hey, I could sit in this all day to do a particular task.
You know, and as the father of two boys, I got to say I'm biased maybe toward the aviation side, but construction equipment, things like that are a big competitor there. And I think sometimes I lose out on that battle. So I love that we're going to have both of those things here at the show that day.
Kaylee, you mentioned there's even going to be public safety equipment. So people will be able to see an ambulance. Will there be a fire truck, things like that there as well?
Yes, that is the plan, Janet. Fingers crossed, zero emergencies that day.
Right.
However, they are community partners. They're still working every day and protecting us, and they need to be released if needed.
Yeah, you got to let them go when that siren goes off.
Absolutely.
Let's take a break. When we come back, you mentioned music a second ago. Can we talk a little bit about the live music? And then we'll talk a little bit about the opportunity potentially for a Warbird ride or a Discovery flight. Can we get in the weeds a little bit on those in the next segment?
Absolutely. Anything for you.
We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation for the Valley Business today. Kaylee Fincham, Director of Events for the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber, is on the Zooms with us, along with Nick Sabo. He is the Airport Manager at Winchester Regional Airport. We're going to learn more details about Wings and Wheels happening on October 18th from 10 to 4 p.m. Thanks to their sponsor pool, the event has free admission. So we're going to talk more about that when we come back in just a couple of minutes.
This Tuesday, April Davis will change the world. She doesn't know that yet. All she knows is that she went to justserve.org and volunteered an hour of her time. Browsing through dozens of service opportunities in her community, April decided to spend her Tuesday evening serving dinner to mothers and their children at a transitional house. She doesn't know she'll be serving a particular mother and daughter who will be spending their first night in this home. April doesn't know that the hot meal she'll serve is the first this mother and daughter will have had in a week, or that the simple smile she'll offer as she serves them will help them realize that things are going to be all right. Which is why this Tuesday, April Davis will change the world. See the difference you can make. Sign up for service opportunities in your community. Visit justserve.org.
Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. We are on the Zooms today for the Valley Business Today. Kaylee Fincham is joining us from Winchester Regional Airport. She is Director of Events for the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber. Nick Sabo is sitting next to her. He is the Executive Director / Airport Manager, again, for Winchester Regional Airport. Together they are hosting Wings and Wheels on October 18th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we announced at the very beginning of our conversation, Kaylee, that this is a free admission event, thanks in large part, mostly 98%, because you got some amazing sponsors to be able to cover all of the expenses that go into an event like this.
Absolutely. Big shout out to our sponsors from Blue Ridge Agent, Winchester Oral Surgery Center, Delta Airport Consultants, Peak Roofing Contractor, Shenandoah Valley Financial Services, Go Car Wash, Fuel, and Rappahannock Electric.
You've got a bunch of stuff that is happening there at the airport from 10 to 4. We talked a little bit in the first segment that there are going to be businesses that have tables set up. There are going to be people that make things that are going to be selling those things. There's food, there's drinks, there's a aircraft show, there's a car show, and then there's also going to be live music throughout the day, like a set here and a set there. Who do you have that's performing that day?
Yes, it's our friend Chris Harrison, amazing vocalist. We're arranging 2 sets with him. We have a late morning and then an early afternoon.
He plays the hits to the crowd, a lot of crowd pleasers. I think people will be really impressed by his vocals. And we've got a cool little spot here by the terminal that we think forms like a natural little stage for him too. We think it's going to be a neat opportunity to see some live music at the airport.
Come, hang out, enjoy yourself, walk around, talk to many faces, explore different opportunities. But closer to that date, we will have a little timeline for music or story time at the airport. We have a helicopter that Nick mentioned before that will be here from 10 to 12.
Nick, this is also a really great opportunity for people to see the airport. I can't imagine how many people probably ride by and saw the new terminal and still aren't 100% sure what happens there at the airport. They're going to get to be right there.
You're absolutely right. This is a great opportunity for us to get to showcase to the community some of the activities and operations of the airport by way of highlighting some of these aircraft and letting them get up close and personal, ask questions to pilots and maintainers, other folks that might be out here, to meet that curiosity about what goes on at the airport. So it's an awesome opportunity for that. We are thrilled with the new terminal building and all the other capital improvements that we've been making in recent years. And we just love to reiterate the fact that this is a community airport. This is your gateway in many ways to the broader airspace system, but that might mean different things to different people, right? It could mean a pathway to a new hobby or curiosity in aviation or possibly a new career. And sometimes it starts with just a spark, and events like this can be that spark for a great many people. So we always look forward to events like this to do just that. And I got to say, there's going to be opportunities at this event to take a discovery flight with a flight school. We've got 2 great flight schools here in Aviation Adventures and Aero Elite. So they'll be taking reservations for discounted discovery flights to get up in the air and a small aircraft. And we hope some folks take them up on that. And also our partners with the Commemorative Air Force will have a vintage World War II TBM torpedo bomber that you can actually pay as well to have a discovery flight in. So talk about a once-in-a-lifetime experience. That is something that can also be done that day.
I think the whole Warbird thing is just phenomenal. If you're not coming out for any other reason, that is a reason just to see that. Not even to maybe take a flight in it, but to just be able to be up close to it and take pictures and tell all your friends, hey, look at what I was standing right next to. I think that's phenomenal.
It sure is. It's part of our country's history. Aircraft like that were key to our success in World War II. And I don't want to totally geek out here, but it's great to know that some of these aircraft are still flying today, and it's important that we pass along that history to the next generation.
What's neat with that, Nick, that I'll add, correct me if I'm wrong though, they have a vendor that comes with them as well that makes personalized dog tags. So for kids, adults to add to the whole 9 yards to make it that much better for experience.
Yeah, and they use a machine actually that made dog tags in World War II actually. So you get to make your own kind of vintage piece of hardware custom that day as well. So that'll be a neat treat too.
I love that. I think that is so fantastic. Now, I do want to make sure, Nick, people understand when we're talking about having this event at the airport. Parking isn't going to be, though, at the airport. You've partnered with Navy Federal Credit Union to make sure that everybody has a parking space, just not right there.
Yes, thank you so much, Navy Federal. If you're listening, please send a dozen donuts just to their main campus anywhere, because we really couldn't do it without them. The use of their large parking garage really enables us to invite a few thousand of our closest friends out to the airport, because we simply don't have that kind of real estate here to park that many cars efficiently, at least. Also, thank you to our partners with the Frederick County Emergency Management and VDOT on the logistics plan and public safety plan. It takes a lot to get people to and from a show safely and efficiently. And I think folks that come to our event will be impressed by the fact that it's just a few minute bus ride to and from their car, that the flow is going to be seamless, and most importantly, they're going to be safe once they're up here on the ground. And we've got a plan if things don't go as planned with weather and other things. So thank you to our key partners there. The other thing I'll add is that with that plan, parents that might be bringing small kids, just a reminder, you will be on school buses from Navy Federal to the airport. So if you've got strollers and baby bags and that kind of thing, just plan accordingly, because you'll be in a typical bus seat, if you will, and we'll do our best to accommodate any needs as they come. But that is our plan, and it enables us to bring so many people out to the airport safely.
And then you'll have handicap parking available there at the airport, right?
Yes, handicap parking all entirely will be in our main lot. If you have a handicap placard or license plate, you are, of course, welcome to park right here at the airport. So don't feel like you have to hassle with any school buses if that's your situation. We are reserving our entire parking lot solely for handicap. Please make use of that.
I would gladly ride in a school bus from the Navy Federal parking garage if it meant that someone who is in a wheelchair or has difficulty walking long distances is able to get to the event quicker. So I don't think anybody's going to complain about that. And if they do, you just tell them to call me.
Yes, ma'am. And it's nice because it's literally a mile down the road, if that. And I do want to touch base again on the strollers. We know, especially with large families, hey, Nick has 2 kids, I have 2 kids. We totally understand, and we've been through that phase in our life. However, parents, if you are listening, please try to avoid the super deluxe SUV strollers that we have. Because back in the day, like my young is 7, like we didn't have those. Just a little push button, you flip it, throw it underneath the seat, and away you go. So we're going to encourage those strollers, Janet. But
Josh's stroller used to open like an umbrella. It was so flimsy that you just pushed a button and you shook it real good and it opened up and his butt went in his seat.
That's what we're going for. And that's the thing. We want to tell parents, and we will post it as well if you're following and different things like that. It's really hard to accommodate those large strollers because, like Nick said, we are in, and big shout out to Frederick County Public School Transportation for working with us. However, yes, strollers is going to be challenging.
So what about volunteers, Kaylee? Do you need help with the day of the event or any of that kind of stuff?
The more the merrier, Janet. We love some volunteers. And that was a great question. We do have a volunteer form up on our website where you can find it at regionalchamber.biz. There's a tab under the menu. You can go signature events for Wings and Wheels, of course. The form online. You can also reach out to me at kfincham@regionalchamber.biz.
And where does somebody go to just learn more when you have finalized what time, for example, Chris Harrison is going to perform or when story time is going to start? Where should they go to get more details as we get closer to the event?
So we'll post that on all of our available media channels, the Chamber's website, our Facebook pages. We'll also make sure that we've got programs printed for the day of, whether it's on big signage or handouts. It's certainly in our best interest to make sure everybody is well aware of what's going on and when and where. So we will do our best to communicate that out, because that's a big part of an enjoyable event and show for everybody, is knowing when things are happening that you want to see. Suffice to say, we will broadcast that out as far and wide as we can.
People can also, I assume, just Google Winchester Wings and Wheels, and that'll probably take them right to where they need to go.
And I believe it's the top hit on Google. So just Google Wheels, and I don't know what Kaylee has done to make sure that she's got priority listing there, but it's certainly working.
Nick, I know some people.
It's all the W's in a row. That's typically what happens. Kaylee, before we go, you've got an event coming up at the end of October.
Yes, ma'am. We have tons of events coming up the rest of the year, but our next one after that would be Wednesday, October 29th at West Oaks Farm Market and Event Center. We are having our Valley Business Women's Night Out.
Those are always fun, I've been told, because you keep having them on nights when I can't come. But hey, if you don't want me there, all you have to do is say.
Janet, I would love to have your company anywhere I go, but I'm sorry, it's on that date. No, it'll be a great time. Another full-time theme event, a lot of hands-on, engaging activities as well. The music, some great food, some great laughs, networking, and just bringing some amazing women we have in this community together, no matter if it's on a business or a personal relationship.
Thank you for taking the time today.
Thanks, Janet.
Thank you, Janet.
I will be back tomorrow with a brand new episode of The Valley Today, a few minutes after noon, so meet me here then.